all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I love that. Welcome along to episode 16 of 5 Star Sodas. 16 episodes. Can you believe it, Nick?
I can. Cheers to that. Cheers to it. What is this? The first one's going to be our 81st drink.
We've done 80 drinks so far.
Incredible.
Before we get to that, Al, how are you doing?
Milestone vibes. For anyone not seeing the visual, I just gave the guys a sneaky wee. I gave them the Vicky.
The Vicky.
Just to keep
The
them
Vicky.
guessing.
Why
but
is it called the Vicky?
You don't
it's
hear
for
that much.
victory.
You don't
Victorious.
hear that much, man. Give him the
Oh,
Vicky.
do you know what? It is that, isn't it? It's like the victory sign. Here's another one though, right? Like, or I remember seeing
Here's
Top
another
Gun.
hand signal.
No, I remember seeing Top Gun, and it's like it's the bit where he flips the person off, and he goes, "I gave him the bird," and I remember going to school, I'm like, it's the bird. There's a bird, and people are just like, "That's not hanging here."
And then an older guy just went, "Here's a double bird," and you were like, "Oh no, I've been bested."
I don't know where does the bird come from though?
The bird, I don't know, man. It's
Yeah.
just. Where, by the way, if anyone wants
you
to
want
know,
me to deep dive
we're
this?
sticking our fingers up to each other, like kind of up yours kind of way. The middle finger, actually, that's the easiest way to describe it. 81 drinks, though, guys. What is going on?
81 drinks, a year of lockdown.
So far, but like, that's right. We had the anniversary of lockdown.
Yeah, it's been.
Did you do anything to celebrate it?
The birthday cake.
Yeah, the birthday cake.
Well, technically I did because it was Travis's 5th birthday, but
right, okay. Was that on the day of the thing?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was the day before, but it was still cake.
Did you do something for staying in?
We had a big first birthday, and some of our fans delivered me some insane things.
Give us a quick rundown of the kind of gifts you got. By the way, just so you know, 5 Star Sodas, we would love some gifts. Me and Alfie were left out. We are part of the staying in group and family, but I would love some presents.
One of the first quizzes ever done, I made a mistake by saying that there was only 4 flavours of fruit pastels. So somebody made me this picture of fruit pastels.
So explain that. So it's
a canvas,
right,
with fruit pastels glued to it in the shape of a 1 because it was our first birthday.
So now
these fruit pastels, they gave us all the shite flavours as the 1.
Right.
So these fruit pastels have been rendered inedible.
Oh, I wouldn't be eating them.
Well, I mean, if they weren't, I would eat them out, because there's people in the world starving, which I hate.
It's a waste. It's a waste.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you this. See the orange fruit pastel? I was convinced as a kid it was Irn Bru flavoured.
By who?
Convinced.
Just to throw this at you. See, in one of the gift boxes I got a bag of Irn Bru pastels.
Pastels. I like that, man.
What's an Irn Bru pastel?
Yeah. What's the name of the brand that does it? It's like a...
Well, they were from Aldi, which that's a tie-in right there, guys. I should have brought them up.
Do you remember also the Irn Bru bars?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
That's how you lose your teeth when you're a wee guy.
They brought them back out, and it's Ur Willie branded Irn Bru bars. Just quickly on the other gifts, because this relates to you as well, Nick.
Yeah. What we got?
A framed script from the Greatest Snowman pantomime that we filmed.
Go, man.
Jeez, man.
Remember that?
That's crazy.
What a laugh. But yeah,
Opie Dunland rises again, man. Maybe Christmas this year we'll see a return.
Well, I just on a quick thing I heard today on a kind of memorabilia tip, and I'll tie it back to that is obviously you had the Grammys, and
yes,
someone was telling this thing about Jay-Z won a Grammy, but also the daughter Blue technically got a Grammy because she's doing the hook on one of the songs. And there was a video where, because Jay-Z had a line about Grammys saying that, I guess Blue's got a new sippy cup. So there was like a shot of Blue drinking juice out of the Grammy, and she was wearing a crown. And there was speculation that the crown she was wearing is the crown that Biggie wears, in that famous photo shoot.
Yeah.
That crown was known to be auctioned off, and it went for 600,000. But no one really knows who got it. So obviously Jay-Z and Biggie are like, tied from back in the day, and they were like, they think Jay-Z bought that crown, so his daughter's sitting with Biggie's crown on, sipping juice from a Grammy, and she's like,
no way,
the youngest Grammy winner ever. And I just thought, in the future, will that Greatest Snowman script ever go for 600 grand.
Imagine Ivy sipping a Dopey Dunland's hat.
Out of a Pulitzer Prize or a
She's
Tony
like,
Award because
"Aye,
we put that on Broadway.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Is that an original?
Yeah, I've got I was thinking about actually before we crack into the first one.
You get a frame lawsuit.
I was thinking. In fact, you know what? I'm going to save this for after the first drink. I've got something to bring.
Oh, juicy.
Well,
man.
I've got a
juicy.
couple of things because we mentioned Irn Bru pastels. We mentioned that I got them from Aldi, so that's a tie-in with two of our drinks coming up. We teaser there that we don't normally do. But just before that, I'll mention kind of throwbacks and a bit of nostalgia. I was reading, I don't know if it was a podcast or I read it, and it was about Tim Allen from the Santa Claus and Home Improvement.
Yeah.
He spent time in jail.
How did you not think of Toy
good
Story?
point. He spent time in jail for drug trafficking. He was trying to bring in loads of drugs on a plane.
What era is this?
It's pre 9/11. Anyway, I know that because the whole point about it.
Is it?
But was it after Home Improvement?
Home Improvement.
Well, I mean, like they had his what do you call it? His mugshot, and he looked like Tim Allen.
I mean, hold on though. Like, it's not like Tim Allen's been sleeping. Like, Home Improvement had a serious run, and then Toy Story obviously hasn't stopped.
Toy Story was what, 95?
It was since 1978.
90s. I mean, still though,
78.
Still though, it was like a major. He get done like for.
So how long was he in jail?
In a plane? 2 years.
He spent 4 months in Minnesota, paroled 1981.
No way, man. Imagine it coming out of jail, and somebody's like.
He's also arrested in 1997 for a DUI.
I know, they all get done for that. I was going to say, imagine coming out of jail, right? Drug trafficking. Somebody's like, listen, I know you don't think it, but like your whole life's ahead of you. He's like, I don't know about that, but we'll see. Then they're like, boom, super millionaire. He's been in some trouble recently, as you know. He's not good like he's not the most PC of guys, I don't think.
Well, they have a new show. I saw something on Insta because I follow from Home Improvement the guy Al.
Of course you do.
Why did you follow him?
I thought you
follow
were
everybody called Al.
Just in case there's any good good Insta account names going, I can just snatch them up. No, they've got some show where I think they do like actual home improvement. It's like you know, that Dream Home USA or whatever it's called, where they like I believe it's something like that. So yeah, something like that, and it's like Tim Allen. But I mean, that's literally like getting. I don't know. That's like getting Christian Bale in to fight crime and going, but you're Batman, no? And he's like, nah, man.
Imagine the inverse of that though, and going like, and like, remember they would put Carol Smiley changing rooms and getting her to actually do like a sitcom based on changing rooms. In fact, Smiley was this? No, it wasn't Smiley. It was Davina McCall. No, I meant
Smiley was the original Wheel of Fortune girl here.
Oh, was she?
She turned the letters, yeah.
Yeah,
man,
we're doing some throwbacks.
We are sidebarring and caveating.
Aye, that's fine. That's how we do it. But I mean, I think our first one is we'll all throw it back because there's some big news in Scotland this week. Some of the biggest news,
right, man.
Biggest news that we've had in some time,
and everywhere.
And I think we should just dive into our bags and let's talk about the news.
Are you going to pull Nicola Sturgeon out your bag right now? Oh. I'm waiting for him to bring it.
I mean, I'm ready. What is that?
Irn Bru, 1901. The glass check. The glass
check.
Now, this was obviously out. They brought this out a few years ago as a limited edition.
Was it a few years ago?
2 years ago, I think it was. Yeah.
But they announced today that it's back. It's not a limited edition anymore. Although, weirdly, it still says limited edition in the bottle. Does yours say limited edition in the bottle? I'm wondering maybe if I got mine fair.
I wonder if the new bottles aren't like if this is like old stock that they're just like putting out.
Yeah, I wondered that because I got mine
like a new. There's going to be a new like maybe not a new logo on it, but like just like a.
Nah, because the Insta post that we shared about it was definitely the same branding. 100% was the same branding.
There's a lot of things to get into.
There's a lot to get into this.
Yeah.
This is our first Irn Bru product we have brought.
Yeah.
Mark Jennings brought Irn Bru Extra.
Mark
Jenkins. And despite what him and Cammy and anyone in the Jenkins household have said before, it is trash. But we knew that because it's a sugar-free and like sort of like it's masking itself, right? Here we go. Let me get into this. Irn Bru It says it on the thing, old and unimproved. This was a direct sort of like marketing campaign to basically come back after the sugar tax because
after they fucked it.
Basically, unofficially, Irn Bru have fucked it. Like, they gave into the sugar tax thing, which is maybe not their fault, but Coke, obviously, I don't know if they have, but anyway, the Irn Bru thing is like, people are now saying it's not as good as it used to be. I actually think it's not been as good for a fucking long time, because if you remember, maybe like, I want to say maybe 4 years ago, there was an original change before the sugar tax. There was like, I think there was like, there was another drop, like something from like 45 grams to 36. And then there's like, now there's like this is 16 or something. But this is obviously their attempt to sort of kind of win people back. And it doesn't, the price reflects that.
Just to say something before we get into pricing and like that, still only 11 grams of sugar in this.
That's per 100
ml.
Oh, okay, 100 ml.
And this is a 750 ml
750.
Just hold on, no.
First seven. Oh no, it's not the first 750. Dunn's American Cola.
That. Hold on though. So it's 11 per. So like we're talking about 30. Maybe it is like 36 grams. So it's kind of back to like where we were a couple of years ago before the sugar tax. Obviously, it's an attempt to sort of like encourage some nostalgia. Here's something I want to get into off the bat. 1901. I don't know about you guys, but none of us were born in 1901. Why don't I do the 1991? Maybe even the 1981. Take us back then.
81 would have been strong.
To take us to 1901, it's like
obviously this date ties into some significant thing for them.
That's obviously a marketing thing, but it's just like it's kind of. I know what they're trying to do here, but
this isn't the Irn Bru. Anybody remembers?
I know.
What we need to do quickly before we need to get to the price. Because Andy, what did you pay for yours?
I was $1.99.
Right. This is what happened. Yesterday, I copped my bottle. And then I copped it with a bunch of other stuff. And I put it and I came home. And then I copped another one today for Nick, kind of thing. Because he couldn't find one up his ends. And like, I was just buying the bottle. And the guy's like, yo, $2.50. And I was like, and sometimes in my shop, they like a bit of banter. I went $2.50. And he went $2.50. And he went, I did do it in my other shop for $2.30, but up here we're doing it for $2.50. I was like, you're actual serious? And he was like, it's because of the sugar. It's because of like, it's just like hot shit right now. Like it's selling out and all that. I was like, actual $2.50, man. What are you talking
about? I don't think, I think Tesco only selling us for $2.50 a bottle when that.
No, definitely not.
I think they were all doing. I think
you don't usually go to Tesco up the glass check. That's the hood spots. And like, the bars range is like famously still a quid.
Aye.
So like
that's the thing. Like Red Cola was beside this. The cream soda, the lot, they're all there for £1. But this was $1.99.
Don't get me wrong. We're the type of guys that are like, oh, I just paid like $3.75 for this like pure 330ml bottle of like boutique cola. But I mean, with this has got to be hot shit, man. If it's going to be that, like, I think it just. They've got if it's a tax thing, fair enough, because as we all know, man, you can't really get around that. But
I don't mind paying a bit extra for the sugar. My only there is issues with this. I think if we make into the tasting of it, but like, just to say that from what I remember from a couple of years ago, this in comparison to what is now considered a bog standard Irn Bru is an improvement. But we're going to take it with respect, and we're going to come at it. Now, just before we crack this open, just a quick technical check. Andy's screen keeps freezing. I don't know if that's happening on your end, Al.
I always just look at myself.
Everyone seems cool at mine.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Right, okay, so here we go. We're going to go in.
We should say we have, because we've touched on Irn Bru before, we've kind of talked about our feelings of it. I mean, I was never a huge Irn Bru fan. I think there's a time and a place for it. I wish I had a chippy right now.
That's basically it. It's the pure ultimate wine pairing.
Yeah,
maybe the
fish up on Irn Bru.
And maybe I just eat after this for me, man.
All right, let's get in, because I don't want to. I want to savor this when it's ice cold.
Ooh. Okay, let's go.
Good wee bit of bubble on that. Look at that. That's not pinhead bubble though. It's not pinhead carbonation.
Right.
Wait, the theory is here.
Off the bat. Look at the start. Look at that's full focus.
Cheeky wee head. A cheeky wee head.
Right. There is this claim that this drink has some sort of foaming agent in it. And I'm going to get into the science of that hopefully in a second, but I'm going to taste it first. It's Irn Bru, isn't it?
There's silence there from all of us.
No one saying it.
There's silence there from all of us because I think we're all rooting for this to do well.
It's Irn Bru.
But it's no. It's, to me, Irn Bru needs to be thicker. There needs to be more syrupiness in that.
That's what. Yeah.
See, tell you something.
Irn Bru should be like. Irn Bru should be like unbearably sweet, like because you know what you're getting into. You have it when you get a hangover. You have it after a fish supper.
I think it is maybe sweet.
It's not sweet enough, man.
Nah.
Do you not get the muscle memory of just putting that bottle to your lips? And it's like you're a wee guy again.
Just engage that bicep.
I mean,
I remember
when I did it, I was like, I've got a trachea on. I've got a full trachea on right now.
Just walking
my first memory, I was like, I've just come in for Torento's van at my grand's. It's the ice cream van, and just before,
I'm not even going to ask what you bought.
My grand's like this. Hey, pour us a glass. And before I even pour a glass, man, I take the first swig myself. I was like, straight at the ball.
And she was like, don't backwash that.
Do you know what the thing is, right? Do you know what I remember like so vividly for that? Is that she had these glasses that had like leaves embossed on them. And I can actually, like, as I was holding it, I can actually see myself taking a swig and then pouring it into that. This is the issue with doing an Irn Bru product, especially at a glass bottle. There's so much nostalgia attached to it. It's hard to separate yourself from that.
It's weird. Like, see if we'd never had this before, I actually think we'd score it high. Score it relatively high.
Yeah.
Well, don't score for me. Like, I've got my own idea. I'm going to show you something though. I'm going to go with the glass, the wine glass. I know this isn't the tasting. I just want to see what this foam idea is like.
Oh, I just sneezed.
It does say that on the bottle though. It does say
see that kind of bubble thing? That's not right. That's like a kind of fairy liquid kind of vibe.
It does say something on the label about having a cheeky wee head on it though.
Yeah. But here's a question, right? They've obviously somehow managed to revert the recipe back to 1901, right? So they're saying like, yo, we obviously Irn Bru now is a bit different. We'll concede that. But if you pay a premium, we're giving you that 1901 feel. So why does this not taste like you're saying? Why does this not taste like 96 to me?
Why is it not?
Why is it
not a McDade's?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing as well, though.
I don't want to give away any scoring vibes, but to me, this still ain't it.
Don't you think, though, in a way, if we were to time travel, I mean, what one episode of 5-star that would be? We hit the time travel, right? Hit up your local, get a fish supper, get ourselves a glass bottle of Irn Bru, 1996, roughly about that time, made by Girdlers, that kind of whole thing. I bet it'd be disappointing.
I don't know.
I genuinely think that whether this is or isn't, I mean, the people that make it will know, but like, I bet you like this isn't that far off what it was.
I think there's probably going to be a big reason why that's went in 1901, and that's because whatever was out in the 90s, the one that we all remember, was probably full of numbers that they can't put in anything anymore.
Not just sugar. That's what I was thinking, because like they've done a full rebrand for a year in a style that doesn't really appeal to the people that are like, what happened to Irn Bru? It's like 80s, 90s, 2000s maybe. Like people are like, they fucked that up. So,
but don't you think
you're right,
Andy?
You're right. There must. But see,
I think you're getting into conspiracy theory territory here, because
it says in the back. You're right. It says a cheeky wee heat on it. People are just like, it never had that. What part is that? So there must be something different. Because if not, right? Do you know why I know there's something different? Because if there wasn't, they would just go at. And knowing Irn Bru's market, they would go at. Here's Irn Bru, and here's like the good Irn Bru. or like the Irn Bru you remember, or the Irn Bru you want, the one that everybody's actually looking for. But it's not called that. It's called 1901 because there's something going on and it runs deep.
I
It goes straight to the top.
I think there's something about it in the E numbers.
We need to take a meeting. There's something going on here.
I'm
what?
deep diving as we do this.
I'm 250 down, man, and I'm not happy.
You're actually a fiver down because you bought
Fiver down.
I was just thinking.
You got my details.
I've got your details. I mean, I'm just thinking that now that you're saying that, right? There's something. There's something about the 1901 thing that I'm either it's just simple marketing in the sense that Irn Bru was founded in 1901. We'll call it 1901 because this is like the original Irn Bru recipe.
They should have called it.
No. Or they're just like that. Let's disguise the fact that this isn't what everyone came to know as the Irn Bru recipe, and
That's what it is.
But the thing is, right, in a way, I kind of think it's just this. I would love for an Irn Bru, like, do you know what? We need to get somebody for Irn Bru on the phone here because
I would blow your minds though.
Please.
Can I blow your minds? The first Irn Bru drink was produced by the Mass and Waldstein Chemicals Company of New York in 1889.
I think I read this.
Under the name Irn Bru. So it's not a Scottish drink. That's blowing my mind.
So wait, it's not at all.
It was popular across North America and was widely copied.
See this? If you look at it on the little crest thing, did you read this? An invigorating, refreshing tonic beverage. What qualifies something as being tonic?
Right, hold on. Here we go. On
On
27th of January 2010, AG Bar agreed to a Food Standards Agency voluntary ban on 2 colourings. So there you go. That's an E number. The colourings are out. That's the big dish. It's not the sugar.
Not one, but 2 colourings. Double Vickies.
I've got a question here, right?
In fact, it was Sunset Yellow, which was one of the colours in Sunny D.
That's one of the most delicious ones you can get.
It actually says on the ball. It says Sunset Yellow FCF.
No, but they've pulled it down, so they're allowed.
Okay.
They're allowed.
Let me tell you something, right?
Twice as much in it before.
Obviously, growing up, right, we've all known that Irn Bru's like this. We've got a secret recipe or a secret ingredient. So you've got to think that whatever this is we've got in our hands right now has the secret ingredient. What we are drinking 96, secret ingredient. And you've got to think that it's still in the one that's kicking about now, which would lead you to believe that the secret ingredient is doing fuck all to like make this a good drink.
Yeah,
I'm the E numbers and the sugar.
And these E numbers are readily available on eBay. Just get yourself some E numbers.
See on the back. Can you add your own E number? See on the back of it, it says caffeine free. Are we led to believe that there was no caffeine ever in Irn Bru?
I don't think there's ever been caffeine in it.
No. Why is there caffeine in Coke then? Is
that not the caffeine plant that gives it the cola flavour?
Oh, I don't know, man. Let's get to the scores.
Yes, let's get to the scores. I'll come straight in. I think it's good. It's good. It's just not what it needs to be. I'm giving it a 3.2.
Okay.
People should drink it, but it's not.
Well, I'm saying, obviously, we've got our basic structure, which is 8/3 is recommended. Based on price and taste and what this is all supposed to be, I don't recommend this. Don't. I mean, if the new Irn Bru is not for you, this is not going to solve all your problems. And for that reason, and that price point, I don't recommend it. So you're talking, it's a 2.4 for me.
Wow.
I'm heartbroken. I had to do it.
I'm going to come out, right? I'm going to say it like this.
He's coming out.
Irn Bru, 1901. It is, whilst it is not the original Irn Bru that we've come to know and love and lose like a family member dearly, it's still the Scottish drink. And it is in this version of it, it's as good as it gets for an Irn Bru drink. And if you're going to be like doing those kind of things where you would typically have an Irn Bru, like get some sort of takeaway, or you're out at the beach, get a chippy, and you want an Irn Bru product, and that is the one that's available, that is the one you should get. And And for that reason, for me, it's a solid 3.3. It is. I am giving Irn Bru the benefit of the doubt here and saying there's probably not that much different, and they're probably just trying to manage expectations here.
I don't know, man.
Well, that gives Irn Bru's 1901
Yes.
a 3.0.
That's why
that makes total sense.
It's a recommendation. Just don't get it and make
Fair
your own mind up. Go and make your own mind up.
If you want to know something about a guy who had a recipe but went back to the OG recipe, just talk to my man James McDade. He'll sort you out with the truth.
But James McDade was like, did you say James McDade?
No, man, Seamus McDade.
You said James.
That's Irish for James, does it know anyway?
I wish we could rewind. Anyway,
we can watch it when it comes out, and then you'll be like, "Oh, sorry, man, sorry, I made that in a whole thing."
I'm not saying.
And then I'll be like, "I'm sorry." I'll be like, "I'm sorry, I even engaged you." That was 60 seconds of the podcast.
I'm drinking my Irn Bru now out of a glass.
Right, we talked a wee bit about conspiracy theories. We need to address. We need to address.
Are we doing this right?
A conspiracy theory. So
this is the biggest thing that's happened.
This is the biggest shocker that we. This is front page Soda News. If Soda News had a newspaper, this is front page. So last week we invited Fraz Yuri onto the podcast. He's living over in Oslo just now, and he brought us a drink from the company called Mathiesens, and it was a Toyen Cola. A couple of days after that, the message, it was like, guys, you maybe want to take a look at this before he's considering putting it out. And it wasn't. Now, just for our own knowledge, on the back of the Toyen Cola label was none of this. But I'm hoping this can be picked up here. It probably isn't going to be
a little bit.
The focus is struggling.
Hey, look on the Instagram.
We'll put the post up on the Instagram. But on the back of the majority of the labels of all their other flavours.
Have you got other flavours?
There's a line there. I've got them all.
What's that one?
This is some kind of orange.
This is the Apsy.
I thought you only sent us the 3 over.
Nah, man.
Nah, mate, I just kept some back for you.
You were hiding them. Right, fair enough.
So anyway, on the back of the label is just this, in with all your ingredients and the address of like where they brew it and all that, there's just this line: COVID, full stop, 1984, full stop, 5G, full stop, ID 2020, full stop, event 201.
Right.
So guy's a lunatic. Guy's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, it's right. But let's before we I guess we can draw a line under the fact that Toyen are obviously as far as we've researched, the guy does believe in these things, and this is why he's put it on. It's almost like in a way it's a joke, but in very bad taste.
He came out and so just quietly, he came out and said, "Well, I've actually not. There's no context with those words. I've just put those words on there to kind of spark conversation." That's what he said. But he's the same guy who's also been on other interviews and stuff like that and talked about flat earth theory. And
okay, so just before we get into it, just to say, the 5-star soda guys, we're only here to taste sodas unbiased, like we can. We do not advocate for the Toyen Soda Company. Now, getting into it, Andy, read us those ingredients again, one at a time.
These are the ingredients, mate.
Or the fake ingredients, or whatever they are.
There's no COVID in this.
No, but tell me what's on it.
So, COVID. So clearly alluding to the fact that, because it's COVID, full stop, 5G. So alluding to the fact that COVID is caused by... so COVID, full stop, 5G. So clearly alluding to the fact that COVID is caused by 5G. Next bit, 1984. George Orwell novel. We're all being watched. We're all being tracked. ID 2020. Now that,
right, what's that?
So ID 20. So right, the next one. Let me know. I'll tell you. I could maybe deep dive ID 2020, but the next one's Event 201. Event 201. That was the
John Hopkins study.
It was a study they did. Was it 2019? And it was basically
the end of 2019.
It was funded by Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation and all that. And it was to test what would happen if there was a global pandemic, where it would start, how long it would run, and all of that kind of stuff. And it was like basically, I mean, not too dissimilar to the 9/11 thing where they there was no jets available to respond to the flights hitting the World Trade Center because they were running a training thing about exactly what has just happened. But yes, some mad stuff in there. Do we know what ID 2020 is yet?
Let me just do a quick one on
It sounds like maybe it's the Norwegian Mad Dog. Just a wee bit of that.
So ID 2020. I'll try and do this quickly.
I think it's a
Microsoft thing. No,
it's
a global partnership to maximize the potential of digital
ID. All about digital ID, all about being tracked, all about how this has been forced on you and all of that. So some mad theories from the guy.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane to like have like to could you imagine like Irn Bru like was just like on the ball or just said like something like I don't know, just said Rangers
9/11 was
something.
an inside
Do you
job.
know what I mean? Just something like pure controversial. Just like the bit. Why would like you go like at what point in the meeting? And surely you've got to imagine there is some sort of board, even small companies.
No. So I read up on the company. He's
Right,
the only employee.
What is
There's
it?
only
How can
one
that
guy.
be?
There's only one guy.
Isn't the brand pretty big? It is quite big.
Oh, apparently he is the only employee.
No,
it blew my mind when I was reading it. And don't get me wrong.
That's not possible though. That he makes everything.
But maybe they're all like. They're all
like contractors or something.
Yeah, he's shipping out to somebody else to do it. He's literally.
I think what you're trying to get to next is like this idea of like, why would you sabotage your own business that you plowed money? That is like honestly, we build a Formula 1 team and like 3 seasons in, Andy decides to write 9/11 was an inside job across the top of the car, and people are just like, and we're going, dude, I don't think it's going to go down well, and we're going, this is definitely going to go down well, and you're like, look, we'll just throw it out there. If it come what may, and you're just like, well, we know it's coming.
O Mathiesen, located in Oslo, O Mathiesen AS has one employee and generates just under $200,000 in sales. And there are 2 companies within the O Mathiesen's AS corporate family.
So who is this guy? Do we have a name? Timmy O Mathiesen.
In a way, I was kind of thinking, right? Maybe this was always the case. Like, if he's only got one employee, like he folds that company and just brings a cola out under another name. Do you know what I mean?
COVID cola.
But the crazy thing is, see, his cola is what's called an open source cola. He has shared the recipe. You can literally go online and find a recipe to make this cola at home.
Listen, this is
imagine it was just like this. Imagine the recipe was take a Coca-Cola and a Fritz Cola, combine them, done,
and add some Sunset Yellow. Look, guys, I know we can't do this. This is just a dream of mine. But man, I wish Seamus McDade was sitting here.
Yeah, because he sent us a wee message as well.
What was he saying?
He just said, I see something along the lines of the worst you ever need to deal with me is like the fact that mine gets made. Oh no, the biggest fiasco of mine is that I brew mine in America. No, just actually realised that I can do this.
Oh yeah, okay.
There we
go.
There we go.
So there, for those watching, you can see the back of the bottle with a COVID 1984 5 event. Mad.
Gosh, I mean, this is so high. So high tech right now.
So what is the fallout from this? Because obviously, I don't think
they were getting stripped from the shops.
Before that, is there any legal action for spreading what could be considered misinformation through a product?
But that's the whole point. Is he hasn't.
That's
what I'm saying.
These words, this is a suggestion. So he's probably in the clear from any sort of legal proceedings. But I'd imagine that like you're saying, retailers are just like, this is out.
Yeah, because that's so. So Norge Gruppen, which is like the big supermarket group over there, they've halted all sales. And Fraser, who was on last week, sent me a photograph of the fridges, and it basically only had the cola left in it because the cola doesn't have it on the label, but the rest of it has.
So these shops are like, despite the guy being behind all of the drinks, they're like, well, this doesn't have it on it, so we've got a ton of stock. Let's burn through that before we disown this guy.
Yeah.
They can send it out here, man. It was decent.
Yeah, I mean the cola was good, man. I mean the guy
here's a question, guys. Here's a question, guys. Here's a question. Yeah. If I said to you, by the way, I've got a case of Toyen Cola, I've got a case sitting, we're having a pajama party. I usually like, nah, I'm not drinking that. How do you feel
Well,
about
let me
drinking
answer.
it?
Let me answer that question by saying this.
Pajama?
I still want to review the other ones.
Aye, fuck that,
Well,
man.
so did I.
I'm-
Yeah, that I mean, so
inject that stuff into my veins.
because here's like, obviously this guy's maybe it's safe to say he's. I'm trying to think of a very delicate way. He's sketchy. He's volatile.
Hold. You know what?
But
Like, I want to say this, right? And like Mr. O'Matheson, right? If they ever come across this, we'll share it and we'll see if we can get you, right?
oh,
I
can
don't
you
want to
imagine we
hate
got
on the
him on?
guy.
I'd love to have him on. I'd
Come
love to
on
have him on the show.
Tell us what is going on. Like, we are
That would
soda
be amazing.
enthusiasts.
Can
We would love to have you on. It is
we
an
know you
open
might be
space.
busy right now. Picking
As
up
an open-
cases.
Maybe
It's
no.
it's an open space for debate. No one's got that. No one's going to like call you out. We just would love to hear your side. So that
Bring
is
him
an
on. We'll
open
review
invitation.
the Apsy.
Yeah,
whatever
aye,
it's
bring,
called.
And
yeah,
then
we'll just bring us some more flavours and we'll sort you out.
and then after that, we will get you in the celebrity death match with Seamus all dead. Big Dead. Then we'll see what happens.
So I mean, this is the thing. It's like for people to be like, right, I am not having this. I'm not drinking this guy's cola, and then messing with certain other. We won't get in a deep dive of this, but messing with certain other brands and companies that have probably have more of an immediate negative impact on
Yeah.
the planet in one
Coca-Cola.
shape or form. Coca-Cola, Nike, all these things. Like, it's all debatable, whatever. But obviously, certain elements are not up for debate. They were, these companies have been found to do things, H&M and all this, and things were like dealt with. This guy's basically thought, well, it's my brand. Honestly, on some level, he might have just been like, this is just might be a conversation starter. I might end up in the news. It doesn't. I mean, I think if he was out and out trying to push like propaganda, he would have been like a bit more blatant. He would have been.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, the other thing that I love is the fact that this was in shops for months and nobody noticed.
It's a total Where's Wally, man.
It's in your house before we even obviously even seen this. Let's lighten it up a wee bit, right? Conspiracy theories. Well, let's not get too deep. But if one conspiracy theory was to turn out to be true, what would you want that to be, Andy?
I love the DB Cooper one.
Who the
You know
fuck
what
is
DB Cooper is? DB Cooper.
Oh, this is brilliant. Is this the one we talked about before?
Or did we talk about it before?
This is the money thing.
The money. He's in the plane. He
plane,
hijacks the plane.
This is great though.
Jumps out the plane with the money, but he's never found. They just never find him. They don't know.
Is this not
never
a
find
movie?
a body.
I'm only sipping this because it's the only one that's open so far. So just don't get it twisted.
Is this not a movie?
It's been used in a lot of movies. Even Prison Break kind of touched on the.
Oh, you have spoken about this.
It's in that film Without. It's called Without a Paddle.
Yeah. But I mean, I like that one. But then, do you know, I have a weird one, and we won't go really deep into it. But I always thought the Princess Diana thing was fucking mental, and that happened when I was in high school.
Yeah,
so
I was in primary school.
I always thought I feel like they just maybe needed to get out, and they just took her somewhere else, and she's fine, she's all right. They just had to they were like, nah, we'll put you up on this island, just fuck off. That was when I was a young kid.
Think she's like alive?
Yeah, that to me was like that could have been.
When is she going on Oprah? That's what I want to know.
She goes on the island and she jumps out that box.
What about you, ties into mine, Andy, a wee bit. Just because, like, before you said that at the end, I was going to say...
Dodie Al-Fayed is still alive.
Nah, like, I mean, if you're keeping it light-hearted and not getting into some of the more sinister ones, but see if I don't think there's any hope in this for so many reasons, but see when people say things to the effect of Tupac's still alive. And they have all these things that appeared lyrically on the album or in the artwork, all these things that are like, well, he was telling us that he was going to fake his own death, like Machiavelli and all this. If eventually one of these things happens, Elvis being another one, if some globally recognized celebrity was to just reappear and be like, what about that then? Who wants the movie rights? What's the one in the British office where he says, Bruce Lee's not dead, right? Yeah, he faked his own death so he could go and work undercover for the Chinese secret police. And he's like, well, I mean, if you're going to send anyone undercover, you might as well send the world's most famous Chinese film star.
Here's a quick sidebar on that before I give you mine. If a celebrity was to come back, Like, and it was like, oh, I wasn't dead. It was a hoax. I just did it to get out the limelight. Who would it be for you? Who would you want to still be cutting about?
Yeah, the Chuckle Brother. What one of the Chuckle Brothers died?
The Chuckle Brother. You just said Tupac, and you've also mentioned Biggie on this, and you went Barry Chuckle.
Man, I need to make light of this because if somebody was like, who do you want to bring back from the dead, man? It'd just be
well,
like...
I'll tell you who I would like. Rick Mail would be the one, man.
Oh, Rick Mail, that's pretty
dope,
man. Yeah.
I would always like think like, imagine one day you go into like a pub in like, I don't know, man, Sheffield, somewhere just like a pure random English town. Rick Mail's behind the bar working, and you're like, Rick, and he's like,
no.
He's just like,
no, it's Nick.
He's like, I get that all the time, fella.
What's your conspiracy?
I've got two, right? One would be Bigfoot, because I just think the idea of not the pure Harry and the Henderson thing, but like the idea of this like the missing link between like man and ape is just like cutting about the forest.
Can I just ask a Bigfoot question?
Yeah.
Is Bigfoot and Sasquatch the same thing?
I think it's basically the same.
It's the same idea. They're looking for the same guy.
I think Abominable Snowman is like a distant cousin as well.
Aye. I mean,
the other one would be
that kind of ties in with the Nessie. I like the Nessie. Oh, we lost Al.
We just lost Al.
He'll be back.
We'll get him. Just while he's away, guys on the podcast, Al has disconnected. But that's how we live on these things. But anyway, the moon landing would be the other one for me.
Yeah.
But you think it happened?
No, I think it happened, but I would love to find out that it didn't, so that like it would just essentially go, because that whole time period is so rich with controversy. Like
the
early
like JFK,
the 60s, all of it, man. Like one of those King, everything.
Who directed it?
It's a domino effect. Do you know what I mean?
Who directed the moon landing? Kubrick.
Kubrick was maybe the one they said, but
can you imagine though? Not like imagine the moon landing, and because everybody's on their phones, they're filming everything. Wee kid doing a TikTok video at Disneyland stumbles through a wall and falls through his open door, and it's straight into the moon landing set. And he's like, that's how it comes out.
I just think they
just left it there
without deep diving, without getting into the idea of shadows and all that kind of stuff on the moon. It's sometimes I just think of these things. It's
I thought you were meaning shadows in general or a conspiracy.
No. It's no shadows. What I was going to say is, see, when you sometimes like try and like just think about, right, we're going to send these people to the moon. How do we do that? Well, scientifically, we're going to set off this rocket, huge fucking rocket. It's going to get them out and it's going to get them up. And then another rocket's going to push them towards the moon. And then once they hit the orbit, then they're at a position where they can get another wee spaceship guy pushed down to the moon. All that makes sense to me. Here's what it doesn't make sense. Video, film, cameras. How did they project things live back? Like all these kind of technologies, like where was FaceTime in the 60s? It wasn't a thing. So like it's when I think of those simple things, I'm like, so how did you just go and shoot
the moon landing
film?
Is one of those things
and just see it back? Like
where people are like so keen to believe it was happening that it was like a lot of things fell by the wayside, and that doesn't really happen because usually it's like when really tragic things happen, they happen in such a way that people are like, well, this is definitely happening, and then all conspiracy theories are sewn into that where people are like, well, you weren't looking here and you didn't see this. But the moon landing is one of these ones where people are like, oh man, this is happening. It's like that. Remember the thing with the guy jumped off the rocket, the parachute thing?
With
the twin song, yeah. Like, I mean, look at the day, man. What I mean, that's mad fake.
It's funny. It's funny you say that. I thought I'd taken a picture of it, but I was digging through some. Oh no, I did take a picture of it. I'm going to hold my phone up, which is shite for the podcast listeners. But I found my Red Bull Records remote control Spaceman from. It was like a promo item from
that thing.
Yeah. Oh, wow. From that thing. It was fucking a mad wee helicopter spaceman.
So the song in question is free, but it's Dan the Automator's remix.
The Stratos remix, I think it was called.
I think it was Dan the Automator that produced it.
That was
a moment.
Like,
but again,
what I'm saying is like if the moon landing was deemed like officially not real, it would be like the domino effect of like it would start to go, all right, okay, so What was actually?
Because I started reading a blog today, and it was about an ex Home Secretary, Home Office person in America that was involved in UFOs, and it was him talking about the cases that freaked him out the most. I've not finished it, and I wish I had now that we're talking about this. But it was him.
What's that guy? What's the guy who Lazar? What's his first name? But do you know this guy? Oh man, we're going down the rabbit hole here.
Hold on, maybe we should dive.
Bob Lazar. If you watch like Bob Lazar on, no, it's not Bob Lazar.
Should we open another drink and keep talking about this, or what?
I mean, like, because to be honest, our next drink actually, which I realised, sorry, I pulled your drink out of the bag.
No.
The next drink actually ties us in because we had Toyen Cola last week. So let's get back into it.
Okay, so what we have this time, we got a different version of a Ramune bottle, it looks like. But it actually also might be the same version.
The bottle's the same.
Well, it says Hata on it, but the bottle is the same.
All the bottles are the same.
No, but the bottle is not actually the same because the last bottle that we had a engraved, not an engraved, like an embossed like brand name in it.
But the general shape and mechanism of these Japanese bottles is the same, right?
But this is a different brand.
So this is cola. I've never seen this end like this. I've been excited for this one.
Yeah, me
cola,
too. I realised when we talked about this at the start about what order we were going to do stuff in, we actually said this one was going to be third, but I was just so buzzing for it that I was like, nah, I get the Ramune.
Because that Sakura Cola was. I wish we had more of that.
You liked it?
I wish we had more of that. In retrospect, the idea of it, I don't know.
It grew on me. Score.
Nah, I didn't give it a good score, but I don't know, the idea of seasonal cola in that vein.
Right.
That'd be the only thing. That'd be the closest thing to this we've had in terms of Japanese cola.
So just for those people who have never had the old Ramune with the plastic thing, the wee bottle, and that let's try and not make a mess everywhere, guys.
No,
like Al just did.
Aye.
Where are these bottles coming from? Because the last Ramune did that. These must be proper.
Well, I shake them up before I give them use.
I feel you, mate. I wish I could.
Did yours go everywhere, Andy?
No, I'm holding it shut.
Oh, but you need how long can you hold it? Yours is all over the place.
I'm cool. There we go. Here we go. Little Ramune guy.
Nice cola spice to that.
I'm not.
I'm going.
Yeah, this has got a right good cola bottle smell to it.
Interesting. Interesting.
To me, I'm gonna give it its time, right? But my first thought there, don't know if you ever got these for the ice cream van. They used to do cola ice cubes. Did you ever get that for an ice cream van? That's the flavour I get straight away, man. It's like a watery cola.
It's got quite an old school cola vibe to it, like quite a syrupy. And I'm going to say shite cola, but I mean that in the best.
Diet.
I mean that yeah. When I say shite cola, I actually mean that as a compliment, like a pure, not quite a bars, but like a throwback.
Yeah, imagine this is in its like natural habitat. This is quite a cheap cola. It's like maybe quite a cheap and nasty.
Yeah,
it's not every day for us, so I'm going
to go out on a limb here, right? I fucking love opening these bottles, but I fucking hate drinking out of them.
Really,
it's a rubbish experience for drinking.
It's not the best. I don't see if you pull the.
You can never get
off.
Like a full mouthful of it.
You ain't getting that thing off. I don't.
If you pulled the blue thing off, I think it'd be actually all right. But I don't think you're getting it off. I think it's glued on.
See what I'd say about this straight off the bat before I even talk about a score is like, see this cola reminds me. This is something different, right? Something exotic, right? See people that drink Coca-Cola and they're like, that's cola, that's Coke, whatever. I just feel anything like this, they're instantly going to go, that is rubbish.
Yep.
Now, these people are not cola connoisseurs, not soda connoisseurs for sure. But it's just like, they are not looking for cola. They're always looking for Coke.
Yep.
Anything that deviates for that is terrible. And even if you're going to drink like Fritz or any of the McDays, whatever, you need to be open to the fact that like it's not Coke.
It's going to be different.
It's going to be different. So you need to look at what is different and see if that's for you. I kind of think this is for me.
Yeah, so I'm not sugar in this. Considering
because see, I get what you're saying. You said it, when you said it tastes kind of diet, I get it, but at the same time, it's also quite syrupy to me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a huge fan actually, but I'll go. Do you know what? I'm gonna have a sip, then I'm gonna give us the first score.
That's 30 grams of sugar in this wee bottle.
I know, but actually, says glucose glucose syrup on it as well. So I don't know how much we can believe that.
Do you know what I love about it? Look at the label, man. It's pure red, white, and blue, and all that. It's like
it's pure Pepsi rip off, man. Like even the wee line through the middle of it.
Also, my marble is now stuck. Like it keeps getting stuck in it, and every time I like push it through it, I cover myself in Coke. Right, I'm gonna review this.
Hold on quickly, just because on the label I read a story today about the Pepsi logo and how much they spent on getting the Pepsi logo redesigned, and it was like millions, and about what it all means, and it all goes back to like perfection and circles and all that. It was pretty cool. We'll leave that for another day.
But just for a company in Japan to just come in and go, zoinks.
You built a tracing paper.
That's it's hard, right? But if I was offered up this versus like a Curiosity Cola, I would say they're kind of roughly on par. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna go 2.4. I don't love this. I don't love it. It's just okay. There's so many better colas out there.
I mean, I agree with you. There's so many better colas out there, but there's also so many worse colas out there. Many worse colas out there.
That's true. But 2.4 is like
I'm going to give it a 3.4.
Okay.
I'm very aware that if this was in a bottle and it said this is from like Belgium and it's from a craft brewery in Belgium, that I could be suckered in to like a wee bit more mystique and lore. This is definitely some crap Japanese vending machine soda, right? But I'm not going to score it down for that because I did enjoy it, and for that reason, it's going to be a 3.5 for me.
Oh wow,
this is dope, man. I like it.
I actually have a story about vending machines to bring up
before we get into the story. Then
what was that score?
Hatakosen Cola Ramune 3.1.
Okay, well, guys, that is a recommendation, just nothing like.
It's slightly higher than the old.
I was kind of thinking, like, we're talking about soda.
Just out of curiosity, where'd you get this one?
Some online Chinese Japanese supermarket kind of vibe.
Say no more.
Say no less. I was thinking about, like you were saying earlier, on soda news. I was like, it would be good to have a segment called Soda News, but like obviously the soda world doesn't have a lot of news. But I'll tell you something I found on the soda news. Coca-Cola company in Japan are starting to roll out.
Oh, I heard this.
Season kind of like season tickets, like yearly subscriptions for vending machines, for Coca-Cola product vending machines, which I thought was like kind of amazing, but also kind of so like. And right here, I caveat that by saying, for those that don't know, I've never been in Japan myself, but I know you even say I'm a Japanophile or whatever.
Japanophile.
I can't remember what they call that, but the
12-step program for that, man.
No, like the thing is, I know they're in Tokyo. They are like vending machines are like they have everything: clothes, food,
dirty panties.
They have everything, and they're like well maintained, well stocked. It's an actual like proper big business over there for people. So I kind of applaud Coca-Cola for getting into that game and going like, you know what, we'll sell like. Imagine you just had like a wee like app where you just hold the phone up to the thing and you get like a discount to Coca-Cola because you've subscribed for the whole year kind of thing. But it kind of made me think just like, but why not just have that for every Everything.
You kind of do. You do just now. Like, see, on a lot of Amazon products, you'll get like it's either a tenner if you buy one, but if you do subscribe and save, it's only $7.50.
My move with that is I subscribe to loads of things and then cancel.
I've not done anything yet.
I'm reading. I was reading there that because of Japan's extremely low crime rate, there's no problem with having like that number of vending machines and having like different types of items and more expensive items sitting out in public, because it's just.
I mean, it comes back to the whole thing of like in Scotland, especially, it's like you can never really have it and nice because people just mess it up.
You can even stick a 10p crisp fucking vending machine.
One ATM at T in the park, and some of these people try to tear it out.
But again, this is what I was kind of thinking about the vending machine thing. Is like, but what is the benefits? Why not just go to a shop? Why have the subscription?
Because you might. So obviously, the usage of grabbing something from a vending machine is absolute second nature in Japan. And
okay, so like, let me ask you this:
you asking me why vending machines over shops?
No. Just like why the subscription thing with the Coca-Cola company. I'll go Steve Jobs, right? And I'll be like this, like, you know, the way he like probably famously walked in a room and went, I want a device that can play music. People like, it's an MP3 player already exists. And they're like, no. I want it to be like this. Go and make it. Go and design it. So I say to you, as a Coca-Cola company, I want a subscription method for the vending machines. All our vending machines in Japan. What is like how do you implement is it Jink as a phone thing where you go up with your phone and tap it? How is that any different? How is that any different from like Apple Pay or something?
Japan's so connected now, though. It's like the Internet of Things is literally being born in Japan.
It could be like a Revolut card. It's like a preloaded card that taps, or I don't know.
You could literally sign into the machines like a login.
When I'm getting to with this, is it more like a club? Is that what the interest is? You remember the Coca-Cola Club kind of thing?
Well, I read there as well that like basically Japan's obsession with technology in general feeds into the fact that they're like, I'd rather buy drinks from like a robot than, do you know what I mean? I'd rather have this experience than, you know, a shop. But it probably is this thing of going like, well, you still just put money in that. Hey, check this out, like just levels, just that. Are you?
But then, I mean, you even look back 10 years. I mean, how many? Files away again? How many subscriptions you got now? I mean, like, genuinely, how many subscriptions have you got? Like Netflix, Tidal, Amazon Prime, Gmail. Like, there's so many things that I pay per month for, and so it's just they're just a wee bit ahead of us, paying for their juice.
Anyway, I just thought in terms of the news, but then I was thinking, man, can you imagine even just you don't even really see an Irn Bru vending machine very often.
We'll put it this way:
to bring it back to Scotland.
Maybe this is not the best. Andy, you're not really a coffee guy, but say, and me and Nick are probably too anal about coffee. But say Starbucks just started putting a vending machine somewhere, right? Train stations, places like that was not terrible. Somehow they had mastered the art of making the exact same beverage that you get from the shop, but they could do it in a vending machine. No change in the product. Are you telling me people wouldn't just rather just go up and go like that with some sort of card and just be like, because it's like, it's coffee, it's like a daily purchase, it's part of people's routine. And I'm sure in Japan, people are like, yo, let me grab a Ramune Cola real quick.
That's the other thing about like the subscription. Like, folk are like working 6-7 days a week over there, and they're just grabbing their coffee on their way or their cola on their way to work. That is their daily routine.
Yeah. Maybe
I just thought it was fascinating, this idea of like, not only like is the vending machines over there such a big deal, but like the idea that you could have a subscription to like particular vending machines. It just like, obviously there must be like the idea of being in the club. I mean, I read this other thing off the back of that. It was like, there's a Kit Kat club over there. Yeah, you could be like a Kit Kat VIP member, and they like ship you every month. Like
maybe inside my top 5 reasons to visit Japan.
The Kit Kats.
No, just to eat of all these mad Kit Kats. It's insane. Why do we do not feel the Kit Kat here the same way?
Yeah, and it's ours.
Aye, like it's like they took it.
They do like matcha Kit Kats and all that. Because I've got down the stairs, we had apple pie Kit Kats and birthday cake Kit Kats.
Nice.
The birthday cake ones were class.
Do you know what I think sometimes would be funny is can you imagine like say like a seasoned VIP Kit Kat person from Tokyo. They're over visiting someone. They nip into Sainsbury's. I know. I told you I was happening. They nip into Sainsbury's. They're wandering around biscuit aisle. They're like, whoa. And it's just like what we consider to be like the pure Kit Kat mint or something. They're like, what is this? What's this food? Kit Kat orange. But we only have about 4 flavors. Like, but we do go with like.
Let me tell you, Kit Kat's one of the greatest biscuits ever made. Don't at me. Don't at me.
Let me do a
caveat.
No, I wasn't going to caveat. I was actually going to try and like spin off of your saying like Kit Kat's like a pure classic, but I don't know what drink we're going with next, so I don't know.
No, we'll be. I was actually going before you go into the drink.
Yes,
subscriptions. Maybe that's the next move for 5-star sodas. The monthly 5-star soda subscription.
And
you get a wee box. You get a wee box, maybe 6 sodas a month.
What do you call that thing? That kind of, what do you call those kind of? It's a blind box. A loot box.
Like Jenny used to get them with glossy box. I've got one of the gifts I was bought was actually a 6-month subscription to Snack Surprise.
Nice.
My last month's box there was Italian.
What's that one where you subscribe and they send you the pants, Nick?
That's that story that we told on the first episode of 5-star sodas that never aired.
Well, probably never will air. Put it on the greatest hits DVD after we've done this.
Talk about it at a live show.
Definitely.
But yeah, we're talking about flavors there, Nick. I believe this is your turn.
All right. Well, I was just thinking we're talking about old school flavors, like and there's this is an old school sweetie that you would have got, or this flavor of drink is actually harks back to like this is an Aldi drink.
Aye,
and it's based on the fruit salad of like yesteryear.
What is that? Is that just an assumption? Because it doesn't really seem to be a lot of licensing going on.
No, I mean they've just bumped that in it because they had a whole sweet shopped range. It was fruit salad, pineapple cubes, cherry lips, and something else. There was one other flavor.
So, if I remember right, the fruit salad.
How does this leave somebody's like graphic design? Like, how does this even go to a printers, man?
That guy's get 50 labels to get done in a day, and he's like, "Fuck it, just do that. That'll do."
You know what? I bet it's not that far off, like what the original like writing was.
It's
like he's waiting, just looked for a font that's kind of like it.
But see, the thing is, man, unlike traffic lights, we're looking at all greens here, and I don't like that.
No, I don't like that. But the other thing here is like it says Vive. Is this meant to be like who makes it for them or something?
Maybe.
See, top 5. The interesting thing about this is right.
Imagine this was amazing.
I didn't even like these sweets.
Really? Oh, I fucking love these sweets, man.
Yeah, I fuck with
them. You like them? Nah, I didn't fuck with these, man.
I would big thing.
You fuck with the blackjacks?
Oh, aye.
No.
Mate,
I didn't like any of these shitty sweets.
Who are you? I bet you're up your Frutella guy.
I did like Frutellas. I did like Frutellas.
Look at that. See, nothing like it.
Mate, do you know the best thing about them? They contain soya.
Hold on, no. Is that the original? Is that the OG?
That doesn't look like an OG, but it's
good enough. Who's it makes it? Bassett's?
I thought it was Maynard's.
No, Maynard's.
Aye. No, Barrett.
Barrett.
The same guys that make the sherbet fountain.
Shoes.
Oh, sherbet fountain.
Oh, okay. See all these old school sweeties. I mean, I would much rather had like the sort of like jelly mix that you would get in like a 10p mix kind of thing. What did you call that?
A 10p mixer.
Mixture. You call that mixer? No, I've heard of this.
Maybe I heard it wrong, but that's what I called it.
No, we were 10p mixture. That's the way it was.
I mean, I like
the little foamy things, jelly guys. I just never really fucked heavy with these fruit salads. I wasn't a fan, man.
I like these, like fizzy sweeties. Just fucking.
Honestly,
I was just playing in nostalgia here.
In that thing, if actual fruit salad licensed this and gave them some pointers on the flavor, and like it was full sugar, it could be money.
Yeah,
crack it open. You need
this cannot be money.
No, it's gonna be a liter plastic bottle as well.
You need to smell this, man.
It's a very unique shape. Look at the grip you can get on it, man.
I mean,
this is aimed at children who just want to use this as a weapon, man.
No, that's It's aimed at.
Oh man, that's stinking.
I mean, it smells like fruit salads to me.
It smells like fucking gym shorts, man. What is this?
How many gym shorts are you sniffing?
Mate, that smells like. Do you know what that smells like? That smells like you're up. You're up the Glasgow.
Smells like my PE teacher's gym shorts.
You're up Glasgow Uni, right? You're walking behind someone. Put your nose in that and smell it. No. Sniff my shorts. Put your nose in that and smell it. Get a big deep. Right. That smells like someone is like washed their clothes and left it in a fucking wet pile and then put them on at uni. No,
I've just realised what it smells like and tastes like. Bars pineapple.
It does. It does a wee bit. You're right. It does. It tastes like a pineapple. It tastes like a pineapple. A very low sweet, not sweet at all. Pineapples, I'll drink.
Yep. Right. I mean, like in the back, we're looking at apple concentrate.
Tastes like a migraine, man. Jesus.
There's not a lot of fruit flavors on the back of this. Actually, it just says citric and apple.
Half a pineapple.
And carrot. It says carrot.
I can definitely get
an aspartame.
Did we touch on the fact that? Did we touch on? Did we touch on just touching on conspiracy theories? Club Orange. People. See the bits in Club Orange. Have we talked about this?
No.
What bits?
See on a Club Orange. So I mean, I've got a Club Rock Shandy here, and it says at the top. It says with real bits.
Bits of what?
Bits of what?
Obviously, what would you think the bits would be?
Orange,
lemon,
peel.
It's fucking turnip.
What?
Why?
It's turnip.
Why?
Smells like my hockey shorts, man. It smells like your gloves have sat in your hockey bag for a year and you pull them out to go and skate in a pond. Dude, this is stinking.
Wait, I mean, it's not great.
Hold on, is my fruit salad had a hockey glove sat on top of it, Andy? Before you gave me
maybe. What's happening with the turnip though? How did you find that out?
I don't know. I googled it, mate.
Is that just to give it chunks?
Fucking the idea.
Right, like, you're not going to taste it, so just get the cheapest thing you can to put chunks in this, man.
It might be a conspiracy theory, but
right. Out with the conspiracy theories. Let's go back to this fucking bullshit drink. This is maybe as bad as Millions.
Yeah, I think it might. I can't admit. There's nothing. I don't like anything about this.
Right, I'm going to go in. You ready?
I'm not even taking it last week, man. This is
0.3.
Aye, mate, I'm 0.4.
Fucking hell,
this is fucking gross.
I'm giving it a 1.1.
That's a waste of time for everybody.
That is Aldi need to get that out of the fucking shop, man. Do you know who would they do that? Lidl would they fuck with that.
What's the other flavours that are going about in this range?
Pineapple cubes, which I don't. I mean, how is that going to be any different?
Jockstraps,
cherry lips, cherry lips, and I can't remember. There's something else, but anyway,
don't do it to yourself, guys.
The final score for Aldi's fruit salad 0.6.
Is that bottom of all, or is Millions still down there?
Millions has a 0.3.
Okay. So this is
it does put it second bottom.
Oh, what did it
get? Sorry, 0.6. It's twice as good as Millions. Twice as good as Millions. Yeah,
Millions tastes like a fucking strawberry carpet.
But Oranzada and lemonade passion fruit are still above it by 0.1.
Yeah, Oranzada. I've had an Oranzada before and liked it. So I don't know what happened that time.
That bad, man. That was
a bad batch. That thing is nasty, though.
That thing is so fucking gross, man.
Like, that's honestly like for one. See if this was like our job. This is like when people like, how was what
been questioning your career?
Like, how was what the day? And you're like, it was tough, man. I had to drink a fucking fruit salad drink. Like this is, we do this so you don't have to.
Do you know what? I'll tell you the good thing about that. That's a litre that's going to go down my drains and fucking unblock it, man.
The thing is, there's so little in it that I don't think it's going to unblock your drains.
Before we go on our last drink, the bonus drink, Andy, we got some good news with regards to the live show.
Yeah, so I mean, we were hoping to have had the live show on sale by now. I mean, by the time this actually drops, it may be on sale.
Maybe.
Like by the time this episode hits on sale, we may be on sale. But we were originally planning the live show for the 10th of July, but then Nicola came out with some figures we weren't all expecting. So we're doing our best to pull that show forward, so that we can be one of the first live events you can attend, and it will be in SWG3 in Glasgow. I'm hoping tomorrow that I get the call that the venue's going to be available on the date we want. We'll put the tickets on sale. You can come along, join us. Everybody that's there, we'll get the 4 drinks. We'll have some merch on sale. We'll have some of the Hall of Fame on sale.
You can bump elbows with us.
The other thing is, see the drinks, the 2 drinks I got delivered yesterday. I think they're Hall of Fame contenders,
and they'll be available. They'll be part of the show.
No, they'll be. You'll get them with your ticket
package. Yeah, heels, man, straight heels.
Real Hall of Fame contenders.
Basically, in a nutshell, guys, to anyone that listens to the show, when you come to the live show, it is the quintessential 5-star sodas experience. You will be participating in the show. We will be scoring the drinks with you, and like any good guest, your scoring fuck all. You'll be you amateur fucks. You will not be allowed to participate in this because this is our club. This is our subscription. But we
will asking for people to score. You'll be interacting with your mobile phone, sticking it in there, and we'll be doing some Q&As and all of that kind of.
We'll do Q's, we'll do A's, we'll do it all, man.
We'll do Q's, not A's.
It's just going to be. It's going to be a real good time, man. It's going to be a good way to get back into events vibes, man. Just going out and having people around you, man. And
I got a question on the back of that. See once the everything lifts and you get to go to a restaurant again.
Oh,
where are you going? Where are you going first for a sit down experience?
I'd say sooner rather than later. The boys need to go Oaxaca.
Oaxaca, definitely. I mean, I've got a voucher for Oaxaca sitting.
Do you know what? I've actually got a voucher for Anchor Line. What's the one next to Anchor Line?
No, I don't know.
The one upstairs or the one down?
I've got a voucher for Wagamama's as well, but that's because they served my kids fucking raw chicken.
Have you seen this? How? You seen the picture of this?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't. I know what raw chicken looks like, man.
Just in a nutshell, man. It was like a bit of panko coated chicken that somehow they had managed to golden fry, but also have the chicken completely raw inside. And I'm telling a story for you. His kids are going Dad, I don't want to eat this. And he's like, eat it.
Amazing.
Eat it.
She was like, Ivy was like, well, can you at least cut it up for me? I go to cut it up, and I'm like, that's raw.
You're like, oh dear. So where do I go?
Then I was like, Oaxaca for sure. Capau.
How you living?
I want to go somewhere with tapas, and I'm not saying that I want Spanish tapas. I want to go somewhere where I can have 50 dishes around me that I can have a bit of everything.
I want to go to something I want to go I've got this kind of idea of going to something in the line of a ubiquitous chip kind of thing, something kind of a wee bit, or just something that's a bit not tasting plate, because I want I want to indulge. I want to walk in and go, bring the wine menu as soon as I sit down. I'm I want the full experience of not having to do a single thing, no cooking, no anything. I just want to give back to this hospitality industry that's been devastated.
I've got a wife, mate. That's what she does for me.
There you go.
Can you be a old fashioned?
Does your wife do that for you, Al?
My wife doesn't listen to the podcast. I don't fucking say whatever I like.
Al's wife is literally outside a shot where I go like this.
Oh, just here, sidebar. I'll be so quick with this. I just saw
please.
Did you see this thing on YouTube?
Love how you choose the subject.
It was like a kind of court hearing thing on Zoom, and the prosecutor was like, "Yo, pump the brakes. I think that the witness is in the same room as the accuser. They're in the same house." And they were basically like, "What address are you at?" And she's like, "This address." And they were like, "Sir, what address are you at?" And he made up some other thing. And the judge is like, "Are you on a computer or a phone, sir?" And he's like, "I'm on a phone." And he was like, "Would you mind taking that phone to the front door and show me the address in the front of the door?" And he's like, and I'm on 2% here, man. I don't know if it's going to reach. And it turns out, and they're like, they're like, "Ma'am, just go to your front door and wait there. We've got officers on the way." And like basically, eventually, like this guy's still sitting, and then he's like, "Oh fuck!" And the police basically bust in, and he basically got like the girlfriend that he'd been beaten up, and he had her like they're both sitting in like a white wall in different rooms, and he's basically like, "That don't try anything funny. Just tell them everything was sweet." And the prosecutor woman was just kind of looking like, because she keeps going like pure, like looking off to the side, and the prosecutor was like, "Yeah, well, stop. I get reason to believe this is funky." And then they just kick in the door and they're like, "Let's go, mate."
I thought you were going to talk about, like, you obviously saw the one with the guy with the cat filter on.
That's so good, man.
But did you see there was another one? A guy had put a potato filter on. He's just a fucking potato, and you couldn't switch it off.
So good.
How does that even happen?
Don't know, man. Fucking, that's what happens when the old folk.
The cat one was funny because he's kind of going like, "I promise I'm not a cat."
I'm not.
It's if the judges go like, I thought
he's
ready
to go, though. He's ready to go. He'd have been happy to do the whole thing.
It's the stressed face on the cat looks even. It's so good. And there was a video of like Russell Brand doing the real reaction to it. Like obviously his YouTube videos are kind of highbrow. And he's watching this, and he was just like, "Oh, he's a cat."
Ridiculous.
Right. We're nearly getting to the end.
Bonus time,
so
man.
let's
The
get our
fourth
last drink.
bonus ball.
Yeah.
Let's head over.
Bonus time, baby.
Let's head back to Turkey.
Yeah. Hopefully we can bring it back here, boys. Bring it back to some glory with a little bit of the old Uludag.
Right, Andy, tell us, what did we score Uludag last time?
Yeah.
So we should say that it was Uludag. I can't remember, but it was like a flavoured one that we had. Uludag Fruity Extra.
Oh yeah, so
3.7. 3.7 was the Uludag Fruity Extra. This is
one just
Uludag, legendary Uludag Gazoz, fruit flavoured carbonated soft drink. So the other one we had was kind of light green, I would say.
This literally looks. I mean, we can all see it. It looks like a ball of bar.
Yeah,
like it's a nice bottle though. Like the little handle. It's kind of nice. What are we looking at here? 250 ml.
250, man. 8.4 if you're doing it in fluid ounces, but
I'll tell you what though, just off the bat, we're only looking around about 8 grams of sugar per 100 ml.
Depending if you've got some good flavours in there. It's not always about sugar, but it helps. I checked it. It's not a twisty.
I'm going in with
what's the AZ?
Cola.
The AZ.
See, so the other language on the back is AZ country code. Excuse me.
Azerbaijan.
All right. Okay.
Am I right? I think.
Yeah. Going on.
I want to sniff first.
Oh man, that smells like feet. It smells like feet.
Oh my god!
Let me get a
smell. It smells like feet.
I actually don't want to drink it.
No, I don't get that.
I thought this would have been good, mate. This smells like feet.
I don't get feet.
Andy, I'm getting feet.
There's 100% feet in this.
What kind of feet are you talking about? Are you talking about like sweaty
cheesy feet?
Are you
cheesy feet? Like daffy?
Are you talking about like? I'm getting. See, be honest. I'm getting like white sports socks, if anything.
You put them on feet, you fucking idiot.
No, I know, but like that's the vibe.
I need to know. I might yak because this is funky, man.
I'm just gonna watch you two drink it first.
I don't even know what it tastes like.
I'm gonna. I try not to laugh.
Do you know what my first thing would be? I almost feel like I'd have to confirm with somebody that something's not went wrong there. That is the raw chicken of soda.
It's kind of like, do you know what it's like? It's, you know what, right? You'll appreciate this.
It's a bitter.
Nah, it's like a very lightly fruit flavored sparkling water.
Maybe
it's not lemonade.
No, it's do you know what this would be kind of jamming me? Gin.
It seems like a gin mixer, yeah.
That's what I kind of feel like this would go well with like a gin.
It's like a tonic water then. It's really
but without that horrible tonic shit. Like no joke, that would be a perfect mixer for like a gin, or like maybe if you're trying to do like a kind of fruity vodka soda.
What's your go-to gin? Eden Mill.
Actually, not. It's not. I mean, I know I do a lot of work for Eden Mill, but
no anymore. You don't.
I know. Fuck.
So choose your next one carefully.
No, do you know what? I like it. Actually, I'll tell you. I'll be honest. Either like I've preferred the Eden Mill whiskies to the gins. The gins are good, but like it's
good save.
I don't know, man. I think when I like the Botanist. I like Craig Neal actually of the show put me on to back in the day when I was going on one of the tours with you guys. It was the Hendrix. I like a Hendrix with a cucumber. And then the other one is what's that other one? The one up north. Harris gin. That's a beautiful bottle. Nice blue bottle. Back to this. I mean, see if this is in a Ramune bottle, I think you two would be freaking out about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. It's, the smell at the start was definitely feet.
Much. It has mellowed out, and I think
it's not a lot there. Can I see why I would get this?
It's doing its own thing, but like, I probably
you're literally only getting us to mix it with something else.
That's what I would say.
Sugar.
Ribena.
I mean, I'll just go in. I'm going to give it a 2.2.
Oh, man, it doesn't even deserve that high because it's not actually doing much.
I know, but it's not bad.
But what world are you?
I know.
Right. Okay.
You've got to rate this next to like everything else you've tried, and
I'm going. Well, I do think this is actually quite acceptable as some sort of mixer with a vodka or a gin. Say, as a soft drink, as a soda, it's not doing a lot of anything. It's like, to me, it's a 1.0.
Jeez,
fucking hell,
that's harsh, man. That's quite harsh. I wouldn't go that low. The way I see it is,
you scored Fago kiwi strawberry high on that.
I would be interested to go back to kiwi strawberry and see what happens with that.
You scored Lucozade Energy higher than that.
I would rather have Lucozade Energy than that. That is not even doing anything.
Man, the way I see it is, I look at it as quite simple.
Don't you man me?
I'm just saying, like, it isn't doing a lot of exciting stuff, but it's not unpleasant. I wouldn't rush out and buy it, so it's not going to be a recommendation. It's never going to hit over 3. But for me, it is a 2.6. If you go to your auntie's and she's got some of this in the fridge, grab one.
I get a wee taste.
Why are you sure that?
In case your auntie's Azerbaijan. So our final drink for tonight, Uludag Gazoz fruit flavoured carbonated. I mean, it does say carbonated soft drink, a 1.9.
Yeah.
I mean,
see, the thing is, see every time that we put scores up at the back, even though like there was some big disagreements there, I never really feel like I can disagree with the scores. Once we've averaged them out, I never feel like you can really disagree with them.
I mean, it's going through like a 3-way filter of like.
That's why we are the 3 greatest minds in a soda game.
There are some things that I look at and with the barbecue pomegranate. I'll give it a 2.5. I gave it a 2.1, and Nick gave it a 0.2.
That shit was fucking stinking. Like I said, man, I'll not go back into it, but that tasted like cigarettes dipped into a fucking pomegranate beer, man.
Jeez.
Oh, gross,
some good times. There's definitely a few that they would probably go back and revisit now that I think we've leveled our playing field. I mean, we know where we're at.
5-star sodas reviews are triple distilled, triple filtered.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt right there.
That's a t-shirt.
5-star sodas logo, triple distilled reviews.
The saddest thing about any 5-star sodas episode is that I need to sit and look at the leaderboard and not have any of that. That's roll in the house, man.
Oh, mate, I've got fucking hunters it.
The king of soda there.
We should actually say we placed quite a big order this week.
Al doesn't know about this.
Does he not? So we get some big stuff coming.
Big drinks
placed an order at the Fritz family.
Factory.
So they've got Club Matt, but they also have Club Cola. They get the coffee cola. No, that was out of stock.
They didn't have that, but we did an American fizz run as well.
Oh no, but we have not finished on the Fritz because we
Alright,
get the Fritz mishmash
Oh
and
yeah.
the Fritz orangeade, and then the American fizz order is
There's heat coming, man.
some
Just let me.
mixed-
I'm going to say one just to make Al like lose
I
his
know what
shit.
one you're going to say.
IBC black cherry
Dark
ale.
black cherry.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's,
The name you can trust.
I bought all the bottles of it. I bought it all. I was like, no, this is going to be good.
Fago 6040.
We need to like. This is something I want to get into because I was listening to a podcast and Fago came up, right? And I do like. I feel like we, in a way, right? There's so many Fagos, so many flavors.
I know this heat.
I think it would be quite good. Maybe I don't know if I'm wrong, right? But like, maybe we should do a Fago con. Maybe we should have like an episode where we just do 100 Fagos or something.
Would you not know about March Parsness? Or is that what I said? Parts.
Aye, it's the insane cloud posse thing.
No, they're not. Fago themselves are doing like this like leaderboard thing, but like what do you call it? What do you call a Stanley Cup?
March Madness.
Bracket.
Yeah, brackets. Yeah, like they're putting flavors against each other. People vote until they find out the ultimate flavor. So maybe we hold off and see what Fago
see what wins.
Or
at least get maybe the top 4 in.
The top four.
And just let the boys know.
Yeah, I would love to like. I'd love to like deep dive back into that disgusting juggalo pool of Fago.
See, the thing is, see when I went and picked up the Irn Bru 1901, the shop that I got that from stocked some Fago, and I picked up 2 cans of Fago Black Cherry because I'd already had it and I knew it was good.
Just like
I'd already had it. I've drank them already.
You like it without giving a score on it?
Yeah, man, it's good. It's good stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not on like the pure refined levels of like a craft glass bottle, but it's good.
See, if you want to get cheeky, man, Fago is there for you, man, if you need it. The Rock and Rise Masties, man. I'm bringing that to the table when we get back in the studio.
Need it. Why would you ever need it?
It's like if you hear any noise, it's not the boys. It's Fago.
Right, that's another episode in the bag. Another episode in the bag.
In the bag, man.
Does that mean we've done 84 now?
I think that's 84 drinks done. Let me tell you.
Oh my
84
God, guys,
drinks
we are
done.
closing in on the 100th drink.
The top rated drink today was the Cola Ramune, which goes into 25th place.
Guys, let me tell you, just for your listeners
sorry, I should actually say we've done 86 drinks technically. We've done 86 drinks.
Guys, the 100th drink is coming, and we already know what it is.
That's how
and
good
let me tell you, it is quote unquote the pinnacle of what the everyman, the layman, thinks of as
a good
soda.
Left of centre soda.
It is like it's the one that people covet. Hard to come by.
We have it.
I should say, as I say, we've done 86 drinks. This is an 85th place.
Jeez,
no surprise.
That's a hard look. Anyway, Nick, you're saying you told me to wrap us up, but you're the one that asked the question.
All right, guys, what are we taking home, or what are you taking to your living room tonight?
There's only one thing it can be. It's got to be the Ramune Cola.
As much as I do like the Ramune Cola, I'm going to disagree.
He's taking the Uludag.
No, I'm taking Irn Bru as well. I'm taking Irn Bru as well. I tell you why, right? Uludag has already been poured into my bucket. I thought about pouring the fruit salad in, but there's a fucking litre of that, and the bucket will only contain it. And then this fucking thing is going straight in the bin because the marble keeps getting stuck. So, like, there is little options here for me, but I'm taking Irn Bru because, in fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking this. I'm taking the Lagavulin 16. That's what I'm taking. Irn Bru is going to save for a chippy.
Put Irn Bru in it.
Good times, guys. We'll be back again next week with 4 more drinks to review, which will take us to our 90th drink. Our 90th
nice round
drink. I should actually say, 21st of April is when we will hit our 100th drink, so stay tuned for that episode just before the shops are let open. But yes, that's us for another episode of 5 Star Sodas. We will see you again next week.